Hey, Leroy Scott again, and I want to talk to you about why you act the way you do, or maybe it's not you you're worried about, maybe it's somebody else, and you're trying to understand, why does this person act like that? Why? What's the deal? I want to tell you that everything you do is motivated by something else, and most of the time, everything you do is motivated by either something you think or it's motivated by something you've been through. And these motivations also cause you to act in certain ways and act in those ways in relationships. Normally, the very person you don't want to be like is the very person you become. The very person you don't want to be like is the very person you become. And at the end of the day, you're sitting down, you're asking yourself, why is that? It's because you really haven't gained the insight and the tools necessarily to turn the curve and to be any different than the person you never wanted to be like. So this is what I want you to do. Right now, if you had a problem with your dad, say, I'll never want to be like my dad or never want to be like my mom. For over 15 years, I've seen people in their 30s and 40s and late 20s landing in the same place, and they're saying, I am just like the very person I didn't want to be. So today, what I want you to do is do something different. Most people would never want to accept the fact that they have actually become that person, or accept the reality that they are just like that person. Maybe not doing the same things, but the dynamics are exactly the same. So the first thing I want you to do right now is I want you to tell yourself that I am just like so-and-so. I want you to accept it. And once you accept it, I want you to start confronting it. Literally what I mean is I want you to start doing something about it. One of the things you can do in confronting it is, if the person is still alive, you can actually go to the person and say, you are a person I never really wanted to be like, but I've really turned out to be just like you. And I don't want to continue the rest of my life like that. And once you do that, once you have made that cognitive connection to the fact that you are something that you don't want to be, or you've accepted the fact that you've become someone that you never wanted to be, you can then begin to resolve it. Literally, inside of your heart, you can begin to forgive yourself for becoming what you didn't want to become, or becoming the person that you didn't want to become. And confronting that person actually can help you, because it's not really for the person, it's really for you. So you being honest with them and telling them that is going to start doing something in your heart. Number one, it's going to humble you, and it's going to put you in a position where God can literally come in and do the work on your heart that's necessary to change you. Now, once you've done that, you've got to decide to move on. You can't do anything about what happened 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, 15 minutes ago, especially 15, 10, 5 years ago. So you gotta decide to move on. And how do you do that? You've got to turn those historical switches off in your brain. But in order to do that, you've got to turn on some switches to your future. Meaning that whatever you give up in the past, you've got to gain something new to the future. So you've got to see yourself in a different light. You've got to see yourself in a new light. You've got to begin to incorporate a new attitude and a new way of thinking into your life. I believe you can do it. We all make the mistake of landing in a spot to where we've become the very person we didn't want to be. I turned it around, and I know you can. And I want to show you how. You go to my website, www.leroyscott.com. I'll show you how to accept it, how to confront it, how to resolve it, and I will push you forward into your destiny to be the person that God made you, and not the person you became by being someone you didn't want to be. We'll see you at the website.